Good morning, gang. Happy Friday morning. Okay, yeah, it's early. I got up at 3:30, so go figure. You got a real early one this morning. What's something that we all do, that we all profess? Self-sufficiency, right? I mean, here we're coming into the weekend. The weather's starting to get nicer. We're starting to be able to get outside and work in the yard. Yeah, Mrs. P and I were out picking up sticks all day yesterday. All branches that came down and had to be burned, clean up the yard. We cleaned out the strawberry patch. We planted onions, getting all that stuff done. Why? It's our effort to be self-sufficient. You do the same. It's why you're here, probably. Okay, certainly not because of my good looks. But here's a question for you. If you can do it, if I can do it, why can't we do it as a country? We can. It's just there's too many people that it's too much work. It's too hard. Nothing in life is easy. Anything worth having is worth working for, right? We all know someday, one day, none of us know what day, none of us know if we'll even be here when it happens, that the balloon's going to go up and those people that are prepared will be in better shape than those people that aren't. May happen in my lifetime, it may not. I don't know. It could happen tomorrow. I don't know. But all I do know is if it does, I'm ready for it. Why can't we do this on a national level? We can. This is the funny thing. The other day I talked a little bit about Thomas Massie, okay? And there are plenty of things that I disagree with Thomas Massie on. There are plenty of things I agree with him on, okay? I don't agree with his one-man economic war against Washington. You got to take small steps. You can't run a marathon in one stride. You got to take a whole bunch of small ones to get there, all right? Massie hasn't figured that part out yet. We can't just completely change the world overnight. But there's plenty of things I do agree with him on. And one of them is his pseudo-isolationist policies. You guys know I believe in that. Gee, Tucker Carlson kind of believes in that, right? We could talk about even some liberals like Glenn Greenwald believes in it. Interesting how both sides of the political spectrum see the same thing, yet neither side will actually do anything to get there. Imagine if all your neighbors were self-sufficient. Everybody planted gardens, raised chickens, raised cattle, had water, had medicine, had skills, had power. Imagine what kind of force you could be, your neighborhood, if the bad guys ever came. You're all ready. Every single person in the neighborhood is armed. Every single person in the neighborhood is trained. Every single person in the neighborhood could eat, sleep, stay warm, shower, do whatever. And you look at the marauders coming in and go, good luck. You got nothing, we got everything. Welcome to the position the United States is in, but we refuse to believe it. I read an article this morning, albeit very early, okay, written by a Canadian who entitled his article, and I'll link it below so you can go read this idiot, America alone is not America first. No. America alone is very smart. it was funny reading through this whole article. He mentioned a little bit about Tom Massie, Glenn Greenwald, Tucker Carlson, Donald Trump, whole big deal. But he's a Canadian, okay? And I know the reason he's writing this article. It's the same reason all the Europeans are all pissed off. Because they need us. We don't need them. They need to realize that. We don't need anybody. The United States is the only self-sufficient country in the world. As this guy made in the article, America alone is actually China first. Really, I'll kind of explain how that one doesn't work. Let's take a look at his argument. He talks about the British Empire and how they were never able to flourish as a isolationist country. Yep, I agree. There's a good reason for it. Great Britain can't feed itself. Great Britain can't power itself. You want to talk about Europe as a whole? Again, I remind you this. Europe, the EU, has spent more money on Russian oil since the beginning of the Ukraine war than they have on supporting Ukraine. So let me see if I got this straight. This great superpower, the EU, can't afford to keep houses warm or fuel in cars, let alone military equipment, so they buy it from the enemy they are in a war against. You have a little self-sufficiency problem there. Let's talk about China, as this author decides to say this is going to be China first. China's not self-sufficient. China can't feed itself. China buys a shitload of grain from the United States. But even if they turned that around and started a whole lot more agriculture, I mean, China already has a large agriculture, but they got a large population. What's one of the things that China imports from us? In gallons, millions of them. Water. Good luck if you plan on being a superpower and don't have enough water. Okay? We see all these stories about China buying land in the Southwest and California and literally filling tankers full of water and taking it back to China. If you don't have enough water, you ain't going to make it. What is it? 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. The Chinese empire falls in what? A month? Sorry. This is the deal. All these people bitching like crazy about U.S. exceptionalism and, we're taking advantage and, it's not fair that the U.S. wants tariffs or whatever it is. It's because they know they need us and we don't need them. Exactly like I said about your neighborhood in the beginning. The marauders are coming up because they need what you have. We don't need anything they have because they don't have anything. But we can sell you lumber cheaper. We can sell you avocados cheaper. I don't care. Okay? We can sell you all the junk at Walmart cheaper. Great. And in 90 days, I got to go buy it again because it broke, right? Right after the warranty's over. That's how this works. Take advantage of the United States and take all the money. I mean, don't you get a kick out of the fact that the rest of the world sees us as this huge piggy bank? We can get more money from the United States. We can get more money from the United States. The rest of the world thinks the United States is what they see in movies. New York City and Los Angeles. Literally, that's about it. You want to take a look at a movie that represents what the U.S. looks like, go watch Mad Max. If we're such a rich country, why do we have 2/3 to 3/4 of this country living paycheck to paycheck? Why are we so far, credit card debt is at an all-time high. Why is it that car repossessions are at an all-time high? Why is it that we've got homeless people all over the place, but you want more money? No. This is where the United States needs to take a huge lesson from the prepper community, and we need to be self-sufficient. If other countries eventually want to do business with us, it's on our terms. There is no negotiation. Here's the deal. You want to sell your product in the U.S., this is what you're going to do. Well, we think we should. Nope, sorry, don't care. Okay, that's it. Flat out, plain, pure, and simple. Y'all go figure it out yourself. Y'all want oil? Y'all go make arrangements with Iran and see how that goes. We'll just keep pumping out of Anwar, or keep pumping out of Texas, keep fracking up in North Dakota or Pennsylvania. We'll be okay. But you need our lumber. Nah, you know what? I think Oregon, Washington, Tennessee, hell, we got that covered. I mean, I watch lumber trucks coming out of here daily for the almost 6 years I've lived here now, hauling logs out of here, okay? Building material. Yeah, you know, oh, but you need our German cars. Nah, you know what? Pretty good with Ford. Okay. But you need our French wines. Nah, you know what? California wines are better anyway. Okay. You know, you need this, you need that. No, we don't. We're self-sufficient. You aren't. You need our money. You need our technology. You need our brain matter, because what we have, you don't. That's the catch. Okay. We don't need your dairy products. We don't need your agriculture. We don't need your stolen technology. I mean, we don't need Apple phones to be made in China. Make Apple phones in the United States. Who cares? Okay? We can do that. We don't need your steel. We don't need your aluminum. Gee, let's put Pittsburgh back in business. That sounds good to me. This is where I agree with Tom Massie. I agree with Tucker Carlson. Donald Trump seems to be heading in that direction, which is good. Okay, this is how you make America first. We don't worry about what the rest of the world thinks. It's not my responsibility to make sure some kid in Ghana gets an education, especially if it's an LGBTQ one. Okay. It's not my responsibility to feed the starving children in Africa. Fine, Christian Children's Fund. You guys are a criminal organization anyway. You figure it out. We ain't paying for it. Okay? I don't care about transgender mice in Mongolia. It doesn't make a difference. I don't care about LGBTQ drag shows in Colombia. Not where our money needs to be going. Our money needs to be upgrading and hardening our grid. That would be a good idea. You could probably put that in the defense budget, okay? Take that to DOD instead of DOE. We need to improve our highway system. Talk about the bridges or whatever you want. We need to upgrade our airports. Maybe we wouldn't have so many planes falling out of the sky, okay? This is what needs to be done. We need to house our homeless. We need to feed our less fortunate. This is where our efforts should be put toward. And if you notice, every one of them would be based on a national self-sufficiency program. Go back to World War II. Y'all remember the term victory gardens. Grow your own food because the stuff we're growing commercially is going to the troops. Right. Okay. I agree with that. No problem. But what was the government asking you to do? To be self-sufficient. They need to learn that. We'll have the continuing resolution vote today. Whether it passes or not, looks like Schumer's already got on his knees. I mean, probably had a meeting with Kamala Harris for instructions on how to do it. But it probably, if I was betting right now, I'll say it passes by one vote, okay? There will be enough entrenched liberals who will say yes, the ones that, in other words, the ones that don't have any chance of losing their seats, okay? They'll be the yes votes, and all the ones who are on the line, they'll be the no votes, so they can say, go back to their constituents and say, I fought against Trump's tyranny. It'll pass. They want it to, because God knows they can't go back on what they've been saying for decades of, you can't do a government shutdown, until you're the one that's doing it. This is the deal. We'll get this country back if we all work together, if we all believe in America first, and I'm sorry, that means America alone, because we can't be America first when we're supporting Europe or supporting Asia or supporting Africa or supporting South America. No, that's when we're putting America last. We lived through that for 12 of the last 16 years. Barack Obama put America last. Joe Biden put America last. We, preppers, understand what it's like to put our self-interests first. Again, go back to all the questions of the eternal one in the community. Well, if a mom and her kids show up on your front door and they're hungry, what are you going to do? We've all had that question posed to us, right? We've talked about it here, too. Each one of us has a different answer. Okay. Self-sufficiency. Who am I going to look out for? I'm looking out for me and Mrs. P and the dogs first. After that, then I can branch out. But my first priority is everybody within these four walls. Just like your first priority should be everybody within your four walls. And after that, then you have concentric circles of, okay, these are my close allies, close friends, or whatever. These people are more at a distance, yada, da, 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 and work your way out. But your first priority is always yourself. The country needs to go that way. Tom Massie's right. Donald Trump is leading us that way. The Democrats are freaking out about it. Europe's freaking out about it. This idiot from Canada is freaking out about it. You live in Canada? You know what your policy should be? Make Canada great again. You shouldn't worry about what we're doing. Clean up your own house before bitching about mine. That's how it goes. On the note of self-sufficiency, I wanted to throw this one out there to you real quick. This isn't a review, a giveaway, anything like that. If any of you guys remember me reviewing, probably 9 months ago or so, the EcoFlow Delta Pro Ultra, this one, okay? This is the 6,000 watt hour on one battery, expandable up to 90,000 watt. This is the huge, expandable up to a huge capacity. This one literally could run everything in your house, okay? HVAC, whole 9 yards. If you're interested in something like this, Elliot let me know they are running a special where by the time all's said and done, you're getting about $2,000 off of retail. Okay, they have a sale that's $950 off of retail, and then Elliot's given me a separate coupon code to share with you guys to give you guys another $950 off. This one is best set if you're looking at putting a whole home system in. Okay, I wouldn't say this one's good. I wouldn't recommend this one for it's backup power for your refrigerator or anything like that. This is if you're looking at running lights, running HVAC, water heater, clothes dryer, dishwasher, whole 9 yards that way. Okay, that's where you go set up here. But to get the inverter and a battery for $38.99. That's, like I said, about $2,000 off of EcoFlow's retail price by the time, thereabouts, by the time all's said and done. So I'll put the link, I'll put the coupon code below if you're interested. Again, this one you can tie straight into your existing breaker box. It basically works the same as the system I have here. I've got the original Delta Pro. The DPU is just expandable to 3.5 times what I've got in my system. So wanted to share that one with you again. Have a great morning, guys. It's early. Have a good one. Pinball out.